did say he was coming in tonight, didn't he?
Well, he's not exactly the Rock of Gibraltar, is he?
Look, when I say tea's at 7 o'clock, I mean 8 o'clock. It's gone cold now.
What, salad?
Well, warm then. Warm and limp.
Hello, my two favourite fellas.
When you go out with girls, how do you know they're girls?
We have ways of finding the truth. Well, keep it, Claude, and I got a weak finish.
Fliss says that yours has gone all warm and limp.
Must be these tablets I'm taking. Bliss, my delicious, wonderful landlady.
No.
Oh, go on, I only want you to store it in a plastic bag. Want to go out tonight, celebrate. Promise to have it tomorrow. Cross my heart, hope to die.
Why can't you let me know earlier when you've arranged to go out?
I didn't know earlier. Sorry.
Gavin, sorry, Fliss.
Well, you know how it is. I mean, earlier on, didn't know I had something to celebrate.
Great.
Yeah, some things are really worth celebrating, aren't they?
There aren't many in my life. I mean, apart from wedding anniversaries and many wonderful occasions like that.
Yeah, recognition. That's the main thing in your career. In the end, talent will always out.
Have you been fired?
Promoted. You're now looking at the new manager of the American Bureau.
Are you going to America?
I'm in charge of all the parcels going to America. That's one hell of a responsibility, you know.
There's only you and Monsieur Blériot work at your place.
Yeah, well, up to now, I've only been acting deputy manager, but now they give me more money, made it official.
Oh, you're now the official acting deputy manager, eh?
Don't underestimate titles, old chap. The second Earl of Birkenhead's real name is Fred Smith, and I bet you he wouldn't change his Burke for a Fred.
You know, you look great in the House of Lords.
Yeah.
The only official acting deputy manager of Albert Square.
Well, good night, sweet princess.
Where are you going?
Taking Sam out.
She's a 10.
Alexandra.
Well, why not Alex?
Alex isn't a girl's name. Alexandra Van Den Gillen.
Oh. Are you taking them all out?
Is she Dutch?
Stalybridge.
Hey, how much extra loot are you going to get for being an official deputy, etc., etc.?
Oh, about a tenner a week.
About a tenner a... All he does is put parcels on planes.
Job satisfaction.
I am fed up with job satisfaction. I want wage satisfaction.
You can't have it both ways.
Probably could if I went to work for another paper.
Where? Where?
What?
Where?
Where what?
You know, you are very difficult to have a conversation with.
I'm very difficult to have a conversation with.
Well, I'm glad you agree with me.
I wish Evelyn Home would come back.
Where could you get another job?
On another paper. Sorry. Well, plenty of places. Big city papers. Bristol, Birmingham.
Birmingham?
Yeah, big place, 100 miles south of here.
I never think of Birmingham as being a place. More a sort of motorway cafe with a macaroni junction.
Spaghetti Junction.
Well, something Italian.
Birmingham is the second largest city in Britain. It is famous all over the world for its... Well, it's a very big place with shops and things.
Bet you were great at jogger at school.
Yeah, couldn't lose me in a tundra wasteland. They're always coloured orange with a big crayon.
Anyway, let's forget about Birmingham.
Fleet Street's the place, you know. That's where it's all at. The street that never sleeps.
In between strikes.
Yeah, and papers closing down.
So you wouldn't go to Fleet Street then?
Like a shot.
You're always saying it's all strikes and redundancies down there.
Look, you mustn't believe everything you read in the newspapers. He's at it again. Laughing again. Him and Stalybridge Sam. Every night he comes home laughing.
Does it bother you?
No.
Well, variety is supposed to be the spice of life.
There is just one thing that bothers me about Gavin. Where the hell does he find the strength to pick up the parcels?
Hey, If we went to London, that'd get rid of him.
That's a bit drastic. We're not scared of him, are we?
Yes.
Agreed. And I wouldn't have to stay up half the night planning the perfect murder.
You know, if you really wanted to go to Fleet Street and you've pushed it to the back of your mind because of me and the kids... Are you there?
I'm listening.
Well, you mustn't ever think that because, well, I'll go where the man I married wants to go.
London?
Well, why not? Oh, aren't I nice?
Now, the next thing you do is to match yourself with a suitable picture card, one of those.
I don't look like any of these. I don't wear hats and I've got legs.
I haven't finished yet.
Sorry.
Now, you've got dark hair, so find the Queen of Clubs.
I'm only doing this to amuse you, you know. Frankly, it's so much medieval mumbo-jumbo.
Hitler never made a move without consulting the cards.
Well, he didn't exactly end up queuing for his pension on Thursdays.
Right, now then, put that in the number pack and then give them all a good shuffle. Well, what do we do next?
Well, you're reading the cards.
Not from choice, love. It's only the most sensitive ones that have been endowed with the gift.
Anything in the cards for me?
Well, the first one was a 4 of clubs. That's a card of adventure, the Wanderlust card. Then we got the Jack of clubs. Now that provides a motive for the first one.
A motive for wanderlusting?
Money.
Oh, well, that's a pretty safe reply. Money's about the only motive there is for wanderlusting.
Now, this one controls those two, sort of pins them down.
Go on, I'll buy it.
Well, it says here that you've got to move around from place to place to make money.
But the first card was about moving.
Here's what cards are like doctors, love. They rely upon one another for second opinions. Well, does any of that make sense to you?
Well, it could.
Chris?
Chris.
Kiss.
Mum's just told me fortune.
Oh. Do you read tea bags as well, Mrs. Wagstaff?
Don't think I don't know how many blue beans make 5, Christopher.
Well, I've still no idea what that means. You look as though you might just be taking those cards seriously. It's for gullible idiots.
I am a gullible idiot.
No, you're not.
Well, I'm working on it. 4 of clubs, 7 of clubs, and lovely juicy Jack.
Well, come on, kid. What the dickens are those cards supposed to mean, then?
Well, the first one suggests a sort of restlessness.
Half the population's probably restless.
And the Jack indicates fulfilling a strong desire to make more money.
That applies to all the population.
And the 7 says that the way to do it is to move from place to place.
Meaningless. You and I were only talking about moving to Fleet Street in bed last night.
What's the matter?
Nothing.
Oh, it's a coincidence. I mean, just a superstitious relic of the Middle Ages.
Mind you, modern science keeps a much more open mind these days. I mean, there is often a lot of truth in many old superstitions, like kissing toads at midnight when there's a full moon to cure warts.
Does it work?
There was a survey last year done by scientists, you know, and not one of them could find a toad with warts. Tea bag on the boil, Mrs. Wagstaff?
Chris was quite impressed when I told him about the cards.
Very impressed, actually, Mrs. Wagstaff.
Well, the future's not an easy subject. Telling a person's fortune with playing cards goes back to the ancient pharaohs, you know. It only gives vague indications of the future. Actually, I'm better at gin rummy.
Do you know anybody who forecasts the future?
Oh, you must have heard of Madame Stellaris.
Oh, you mean Alice Broadbent?
The public probably know her better as Madame Stellaris.
I must need my bumps feeling coming here.
No, you're in the wrong place. Reading bumps is phrenology. Madame Stellaris is a clairvoyant. She reads crystal balls.
And what time are we seeing Madame Polaris?
Stellaris, and we're not seeing her. We are having a consultation.
Hey, she's not really got a crystal ball in there, has she? If she starts gazing into crystal ball, I shall drop about laughing.
Well, she's got a fantastic reputation.
Yes. I'm just reading about it. Madame Stellaris, personal clairvoyant to stars of the silver screen in Savoy Hill, with unsolicited testimonials from the internationally famous band leader Maurice Winnick and His Majesty the late King Zog of Albania.
There you are. You see, I told you.
Just two of the many personalities to have sought the guidance of Madame Stellaris, Central Pier, Blackpool.
I do wish you wouldn't wear such a nasty expression in your voice.
I wonder if many journalists consult clairvoyance before going to Fleet Street. I just can't imagine Bernard Levin gazing into a crystal ball.
Whom has a 2 o'clock consultation, if I may make so bold?
Madame Stellaris?
No, please, just call me Madam. Never fails to amuse.
Never?
Mr. and Mrs. Hayfield, of course.
Hawthorne.
I do think people with pastoral names have 2 of the most beautiful characteristics in common: a warm nature and a generous disposition. It was the £2 consultation you required, wasn't it, dear?
Chris?
Oh, well. In for a penny, in for £2.
Excuse me, I'm fearfully superstitious, but then aren't we all, if I may make so bold? Seated one day at the organ, I was weary and ill at ease, and my fingers wandered idly over the noisy keys. It's a little chant my father used to say when he spilt salt. Actually, he used to sing it.
Oh.
And I struck a chord of music. I'm sure you know the rest.
Oh, yes.
Like the sound of a great amen.
Dear old Arthur Sullivan.
Oh, yes. Do you get in touch with Arthur on the crystal much?
Alas, no. I can only see into the future. Those who are to come, rather than that which has gone before, if I may make so bold. Now, I think we are wondering when our union is going to be blessed with issue.
Oh, no. No, we've already got a couple of issues.
Yeah. Actually, it was a twin issue.
Oh, well, win some, lose some. Is there a particular aspect of the future that interests you?
No, not really. Apart from knowing there's going to be one. It was just a sort of general forecast, that's all. Do you get much passing werewolf trade these days, Alice?
Thank you, Mrs. Hawthorne. Absolute silence is vital. I see a book. No, not a book. A newspaper. Yes, I can see it clearly now.
Is it a tabloid?
No, it's definitely a newspaper.
Can you see what... Is it the Manchester Evening News? Bolton Evening News? Oldham Evening Chronicle? Oh, it's not the Ashton Reporter, is it?
Standard? Yes, I can see Standard.
Evening Standard?
Evening Standard.
What is that?
It's in London.
That's it. It's the dome of St. Paul's. And in the distance, I can see somebody not unlike Mr. Hawthorne, surrounded by glass, I think.
Black glass?
Yes. Dark black glass.
That's it. The Daily Express building. And you can see St. Paul's from there.
Yeah, but what about the Evening Standard?
Well, it's owned by Beaverbrook as well. Daily Express, Sunday Express, London Evening Standard.
Oh.
Always makes me laugh when you say crystal balls. She made it up.
You do not make up a London evening like the Evening Standard, mate. And she saw somebody who looked like me standing inside Beaverbrook's greenhouse, bum. Now that, for the first time outing into a crystal ball, is not a disaster.
You should have stayed on a bit. We could have had the 2:45 at York and the 3 o'clock at Haydock, bum.
Look, a few hours ago, I meet some middle-aged sweet potato with a belt round her bonds singing the lost chord because she spilt some salt.
Pardon?
Well, it's a long story. Anyway, this cookie bird with a big glass ball knows more about me than I know about me.
Well, she saw you in a big thingy ball.
Yeah, well, a future me. Anyway, that's her story, and I am sticking to it.
Ah. Won't tell a soul, mate. It was you, though, wasn't it? Hey, you phoned her up, told her what to say, right?
No, I didn't. That's more than her reputation's worth. If she did that, she'd be back selling pegs in a fortnight.
So it looks like you might be taking a job in London, then?
Mm-hmm.
Overrated down there, you know. Yeah. 2/3 of it's owned by Arabs. When I was down in March, I thought it was the capital of Japan. Millions of them running about with little labels on. Case of fault, return to factory, you know.
Look, I am going down there for the money, not to look at tourists.
You might get more money, Chris, but you'll spend it. Take more than 3 or 4 quid extra to tempt me down there.
Of course, when I'm in London, I'll get the national minimum, you know. That'll be an extra 25 quid a week for a start. Plus the odd weekend, come out with what, 50, 60 quid a week extra? Mind you, another year down there would improve that figure.
It's true.
Although, as you were rightly saying the other night, it's nothing like as important as a title. I mean, in London, I'll still only be called a journalist, while in Manchester, you'll be called an official acting deputy manager.
Oh, yeah.
Well, better go see that little lady of mine.
It's gonna screw me up, you know.
Pardon?
Well, if you go to London, where am I gonna live?
Hey, that's a point. Look, I tell you what, as soon as you get a new address, let us know. Might be some damage to pay for.
I must say, mate, you're being a... What does Fliss feel about it?
Oh, she's choked.
Ah, I thought she would be. There, you won't go to London.
Oh, yes, I will. As a matter of fact, I'm taking Fliss to London this weekend. Once she knows what all the action is these days, what chance has Chorlton come hardy? Bubble.
$138, Squire.
How much?
Sorry, Beaverbrook, $138.
It's not 138 on your revised tariff.
Ah, well, they've revised the revised tariff, Squire. Comes out once a month, like a magazine. Think you better to tip on me, Squire.
Oh, thanks. You can keep the green chip stamps. That's the PA building.
Oh, it's very nice.
You've heard me talk about the PA building, haven't you?
Now, don't tell me. Something Argus.
Something Association.
Parents.
Press. Press Association.
A few more seconds, I'd have got that. I spy with my little eye something beginning with D.
Pardon?
Give you another clue. D-E.
We are on Fleet Street, the street of adventure, and you're standing there playing I Spy.
Just because you don't know. Daily Express. It's just like the one in Manchester.
Ah, the one in Manchester's not on Fleet Street, though, is it?
Ancoat Street.
Great.
Sorry, Great Ancoat Street.
No, what I mean is that this street is sort of... Well, it's got an atmosphere. It's different, isn't it?
Is it a different Daily Express in London?
No. Well, except for a couple of pages where they have local stories.
Oh.
Walk on a bit.
Please.
Daily Mail's down there. Carmelite Street. And the Yorkshire Post.
Oh.
What?
Well, it doesn't seem very handy.
Handy for what?
Yorkshire.
Their head office is in the East.
Oh, it's a sort of district office.
No. It's a sort of Fleet Street office. Hoovery Street? Sun? News of the World?
Oh, there's the Guardian.
Uh-huh.
Is that our Guardian?
Yes.
Of course, that'll just be a district. Fleet Street branch.
Hey, do you fancy a drink?
Yes, please.
Pint and half a bitter, please.
I've never been in a pub before that had sawdust on the floor.
It's atmosphere.
Well, to you it's atmosphere. To me it's sawdust. Do you know, a traditional deep red Axminster would look lovely on this floor.
You can't go juggling around with fundamentals, Fliss.
Well, don't you think that sawdust is a bit too fundamental?
James Cameron likes it. Vincent Mulcrone likes it. Arthur Elliwell likes it. Annan Swaffer and George Bernard Shaw swore by it.
Well, Felicity Hawthorne isn't too keen.
Hey, now this isn't bad.
Do you think Linda Lee Potter likes it?
Whiff of sawdust, she'll follow you anywhere. Look at this. West 2, recently renovated house in Quiet Square. 4-bed, 3 recep, all offices. Hey, I've always wanted an office at home.
How much?
9,000. You know, we could get about 6.5 for ours if I did the garden up.
It's only a 2-year lease. £9,000 for 2 years.
2 years?
Rates exclusive. And I bet they're very, very exclusive.
One pint of bitter, one glass of bitter.
Thank you very much. Keep the change.
Oh, I'd rather you pay for the drink, sir.
What do you mean? I've just paid you for them.
Pint and a half, sir, that's 44p.
Oh, bells. Didn't know even the beer had a London waiting.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Is the YM still there?
Pardon?
St Peter's Square, Manchester.
Oh, yeah.
I used to work there. Ritz Plaza, Goldman, Longbar. If I've told the wife once, I must have told her 1,000 times. Manchester's a great place. Anyway, enjoy your visit.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Oh,
Cheers, up.
cheers.
Ooh. I'd forgotten about the beer.
Mom! Mom!
No, she's not here.
Oh, we ought to get the twins. I'm starving.
Well, I fancy egg and chips myself.
You know what I mean. I just want to get the twins, have something to eat and go to bed.
Yeah. I know just how you feel, kiddo. But let's try it in reverse order, eh?
Well, if it isn't Armand and Michaela Dennis.
Hi, Gavin.
I went to safari, kiddo.
Oh, smashing, mate. I think I can safely say we have now no doubts about London.
Safely.
You going to London, then?
Well, you don't exactly rush into important moves in the game of life, you know. It's like being on a football field.
All a matter of timing, if I may make so bold.
You've been to see Madame Stellaris.
Yeah.
What did she say?
I won't patch it up with Carol and I won't marry again.
Oh, no.
Oh, hell's bells. I mean, hell's bells, it's rough for you.
Yeah.
Mind you, can you believe what Madame Stellaris says after...
I have complete faith in Madame Stellaris.
Well, if we've got to go, we've got to go.
We?
Yeah. Well, if you're going to London, I must be coming with you. Because Madame Stellaris definitely said I would always have a comfortable home with my very good friends. Small token of my appreciation.